How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, bro? Give me a one if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? There we go. 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 Apologies for that, guys. This is why. This is why I always do a sound check, fam. This is why I always do a sound check, right? And the only time that I didn't do a sound check is today, literally right now in this stream, and look what happens. Look what happens. But anyway, guys, as I was saying, welcome back to another evening stream for TRACKBACK, where we do speak about football topics all around the world. And today's one, bro, is gonna be very interesting because it is the Nottingham Forest one, where Nottingham Forest have actually lodged a complaint to UEFA about Crystal Palace and them being involved in the Europa League. Because bear in mind, yeah, how long you been speaking for? Like 2 minutes. For that 2 minutes, fam. For that 2 minutes, bro. I feel like literally starting the stream again. I genuinely feel like starting the stream again, bro. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, dude. I'm fuming about that, right? But anyway, Crystal Palace have got a minority holder, right? In shares in the club named John Textor. So John Textor is basically he's like the owner of Leon as well, and he's got like a minority stake in Crystal Palace. So what Nottingham Forest are saying, right, is basically they are just saying like why are Crystal Palace and Leon allowed in the same competition when basically like teams with the same owner aren't allowed to play in the same competition. Hence why if you look at the issue with the Girona and Manchester City in last year's Champions League campaign, there was also problems with that. There's also problems with the Red Bull teams as well, because of course the Red Bull teams literally called Red Bull, like Red Bull Salzburg, New York Red Bulls. There's a RB Leipzig, right? Like Salzburg and RB Leipzig, they're always in the Champions League. So basically, yeah, it's very weird. It is very weird, like this whole like multi club ownership thing, because right now like a lot of fans are not happy with Nottingham Forest. I'm not happy with Nottingham Forest just to how they've actually conducted themselves in this, dude. For me, right, like these spots are awarded on sporting merit. You get what I mean? There's no way in hell, right, that Leon and John Textor could have influenced Crystal Palace in being Aston Villa, in Crystal Palace being Man City, bro. The entire journey, right, that Crystal Palace went on in the FA Cup. There's no way in hell that Textor and Leon could have actually influenced that, bro. And for Nottingham to complain about that, that's very, very, very underhanded tactics, bro. That for me, like I generally don't agree with that, right? But here is the video that we're gonna be reacting to while Simon Jordan gives his take on this, right? Because listen, man, like come on, in the for me, this is all on Nottingham Forest, because Nottingham Forest, like they were in third place in the Premier League, guys. You get what I mean? Like they threw it away. It's not Crystal Palace's fault that they dropped all the way down to like 7th or 8th place, bro. It's not, dude. So why are they trying to drag down Crystal Palace with them? Again, for me, it's not right. But anyway, let's continue with this video, fam.
Forest Crystal Palace story, because Nottingham Forest, are they right to put pressure on UEFA at the expense of a fellow Premier League side, or is it ultimately dog eat dog when it comes to fighting your corner as a club owner? Forest have written to UEFA with their concerns about Crystal Palace participating in the Europa League when they could be in breach of multi-club ownership rules.
Well, I'm trying to put myself in a situation where I wonder what I would do. Obviously, I've got a vested interest because it's my former football club and my allegiance is with them. And I'm trying to work out, if I were Nottingham Forest, would I feel the necessity to put my two pennies in when UEFA have already made their position clear that Crystal Palace need to find a solution to the problem? Crystal Palace and Lyon need to find a solution to the potential problem that they've got, and I don't think it needs Nottingham Forest to put their two pennies in. But Marinakis being Marinakis, he will suggest that actually we had the foresight to avoid the same problem. I mean, the ridiculousness of this all is that if Nottingham Forest needs some money during the course of next season, who are they going to go to? They're going to go to Marinakis because he's the only person that's going to write a check out. The fact he's put his shareholding and resigned as a director of Nottingham Forest and put his shareholding into a blind trust to get himself around European rules tells you that the rules themselves are slightly ludicrous.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I did actually forget about that. So basically, that's what John Textor missed out on. The minority holders, or the guy who's got minority shares in Crystal Palace, he actually missed out on that deadline for him to have his shares go into a blind trust, and it seems like Marinakis for Nottingham Forest has done this, but again, like it's abs. For me, this is if UEFA go along with this and actually kick Crystal Palace out of the European spots in general, out of the Conference League, out of the Europa League, bro. Like it's a dark day for football in my opinion.
Either allow multi-club ownership and you run the gauntlet of what it represents, or you don't allow it. It was okay if you were going to allow multi-club ownership and you suggest that in one federation you play your own South American team and you're on a European team, they're not like to play one another.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So that's what multi-club ownership should be like. That's what multi-club ownership should be like, in my opinion. Like when I heard, because this whole like multi-club ownership thing, I actually heard it when Man City had bought it was like New York, it was New York Football Club. I think it's like New York City Football Club and Mumbai, right? That's it. Like New York City is of course in North America, and I'm pretty sure it's Mumbai. It's definitely an Indian team. Is that new? I think it's Mumbai City FC, right? That's also like in India, in Asia. There's no way in hell, right? Like these clubs can actually play against each other unless if it's like the FIFA Club World Cup. That's highly likely for it to happen, right? But like in terms of like the continental cups, there's no chance that like Man City will go and play in the like the North American Champions League, or there's no chance that New York City Football Club will go play in the Asian Champions League, bro.
Besides the construct of the new FIFA World Club Championship, but as a matter of course, they ain't like to play in one other than competitive tournaments, so it's not an issue. But when you allow it to happen in European football, which they did with the RB model, and then RB set the precedent.
The RB teams, like literally the Red Bull teams, is Salzburg, Leipzig. There's Paris now. There's Leeds, bro. Like all these clubs are like, aside from Salzburg, these all the teams are in the top 4 of like the strongest leagues in the world, bro. You get what I mean? Like Germany, Leipzig, I think Paris FC are in Liga right now, and there's also Leeds as well. Leeds that have been recently promoted to the Premier League, man. Like I don't get like how these Red Bull clubs get away with this, like season in season out. If a team like Crystal Palace is struggling, bro, even just for them to even reach their first ever Champions League, dude.
And made this ridiculous argument that they weren't part of the same group. I mean, ridiculous, but they managed to come through it. Now you've got this challenge. So do I think Nottingham Forest are in the business of looking after Nottingham Forest? And one of the things that when I was doing this television documentary and went over to America, which is and I'm going to go off on a tangent, indulge me for a second, was the owners all work together in American sports because they're all united by an outcome which is based upon mutual interest. Relegation doesn't form part of it, and you've got a central theme which is we all work together because we know that the outcome is going to benefit all of us. In European football, it's a bastion of division and competition, and there's no two people that think the same way. You've got different ownership model left, right, and centre, and of course you've got jeopardy, which is relegation and failure to qualify, which creates a culture where people don't work as business partners, which means you can't ever make changes that are structural to the sport because you're always going to have one person that argues against it. You're going to have Man City going into a room saying, I don't like associated party transactions. You're going to have Tottenham Hotspur saying, well, actually, we think there's a relevance behind that because you're utilising big businesses to be able to monetize your football clubs. So you've got that backdrop. So in that backdrop, why wouldn't Nottingham Forest stoke the fire? Why wouldn't Nottingham Forest say, excuse me, these lot over here? I don't think so. Make sure you sharpen your pencils.
Yeah, but we know why. We know why, bro. Like with Nottingham Forest, right? And it pains me to speaking about Nottingham Forest like this. It actually really frustrates me because like the terrific history that Nottingham Forest has is incredible, bro. Like 2-time Champions League winner, an iconic, legendary manager in Brian Clough. Like if I guarantee you guys, right? If Brian Clough were to be here today and he heard this, he would absolutely like just call the owner a fraud, bro. Like, this is underhanded, disgusting tactics what Nottingham Forest are going through just for them to even get into Europa League and get more money. The whole basis behind this, guys, is always the money. It's always the money. It's always the money. That's why they are doing this, bro. Once again, as I said before, right, Nottingham Forest had an opportunity to qualify for the Champions League. Who messed that up? It's Nottingham Forest and the players, bro. That's who messed it up. It's not Crystal Palace's fault. You get what I mean? But since they are in the Conference League now, they're trying to get Crystal Palace knocked out, bro. This is Crystal Palace's, like, I'm pretty sure this is like Crystal Palace's first time ever, like, in Europe, bro. Even them that winning the FA Cup, like, that's the first ever trophy that they've won in the club's history, dude. Like, their fans, I rarely ever see these kind of things, bro. You get what I mean? But there's this one guy trying to complain because he wants more money. That's literally what it's about. That is what it's about, bro. I guarantee you, if you had flipped this the other way, the Nottingham Forest fans would be complaining about Crystal Palace.
Make sure that you look at Crystal Palace in the way that we'd like you to. Crystal Palace ain't likely to be here again. So you're not offending one of the big clubs by booting them out of Europe.
Exactly.
So, just be mindful of that. We expect you...
Almost like they're asking to set an example.
Well, for the benefit of them, yeah. We are. They're reminding. They're going to try and hold UEFA to the highest standard and say you've got fiduciary responsibility to football here. And really and truly, if these guys haven't done what we did, which was what we did it back in March when we knew that the timelines would be in our favour and we knew that the structure was likely to be Forest were going to be in Europe. Palace didn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Palace didn't know they were going to be in Europe when when Marinakis was busily concocting his blind trust. Palace were barely beating Millwall in the FA Cup fifth round or whatever it was. So with all that in mind, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying this is probably the reasons why I would perhaps err towards Nottingham Forest and the reasons why they're doing it because of the constructive football. I do think that the situation with Palace is relatively unique because the ownership model, whilst Parish is a very small shareholder, he is the executive control over Palace. You've seen the arguments between Textor and Parish when the loan signing rule was put into place and Parish voted against it and Textor didn't want it. So that shows you who controls Crystal Palace Football Club. So the shareholding side of things, whilst it's a measurement and whilst it's the measurement that UEFA use to deploy multi-club ownership and significant control, in the construct of Crystal Palace, their chairman makes the executive decisions, but he isn't the majority shareholder.
No, because that actually, in an odd situation, the majority shareholder is John Textor. Correct. In terms of one shareholder.
Correct.
But the rest of them together make up a majority shareholding,
Correct.
which allows Parish to have that power.
Correct.
And essentially, they need to convince UEFA that John Textor, who also holds a controlling stake in Lyon, doesn't have an influence at Selhurst Park.
But that's not difficult to do. The fact of the matter is you have a shareholders agreement which will represent that. They'll be able to show a documented perspective of the reasons
why. You would have thought they would have done that already then?
Well, they have, haven't they?
Right, so in which case, why has it still taken so long?
Because UEFA are either trying to find a way to justify booting Palace out or trying to find a way to justify keeping Palace in. And of course, people like Nottingham Forest are making sure that UEFA have to work hard to make either decision. And predominantly in their argument, the decision that involves Crystal Palace being booted out of the Europa League.
Yeah, like for UEFA, UEFA is not winning in this, by the way. UEFA are not going to be the winners in this, by the way. Like, either Crystal Palace or Nottingham Forest are going to be the ones happy about this. And by the way, also too, right, I'm pretty sure Brighton are also involved in this. I'm pretty sure that Brighton also want Crystal out of the Europa League. I'm pretty sure they are involved as well.
Well, the UEFA's club financial control body disqualified Lyon, John Textor's club, from European competitions in December, but allowed them to continue in the Europa League, I think they were in, after the club met certain demands. It's to do with financial problems that they had, like almost like breaching FFP.
That's a different dynamic, isn't it? Yeah.
But that just adds to the sort of intrigue of the story, really, because if they're deemed to be in breach of a settlement agreement at the end of this season, they could be disqualified for next season's Europa League, which could mean that Crystal Palace will be allowed in anyway, because Lyon aren't allowed to participate.
And maybe that's forming some part of it. Maybe they're looking at the reality of what the obligations they put on Lyon to allow them to continue to participate. Have they met them? If they haven't met them, then maybe the solution is that they don't have a problem with Crystal Palace, and then Lyon will be the ones that are arguing it.
There's a lot of legalese, but are you as convinced as you were, I think, initially when the first story broke, that it will be resolved and Crystal Palace will be okay?
I am. I have to say I'm not as convinced, but I'm moderately confident that Palace will still play in the Europa League. But like anything else, unless you're in the room, unless you're party to discussions, you can take an educated. I sat in this room 5 years ago and said, against the tide, There's no way this European Super League will happen. Before all the clubs played chicken and ran away and decided that they weren't going to do what they'd signed up to do, when the world was going crazy and everyone was going mad and this is going to happen, I sat in a room on the morning of the Monday after it was announced on a Sunday and said, they're close, but they haven't got it. That's because my nose told me that they weren't quite ready for this yet, and it wasn't really where it needed to be. And the way that it was announced, the way it was being done, didn't feel like it. It feels to me that Palace have just got enough to eke into a situation where they get past this obstacle. And it's more of a sensational, I mean, obviously there was a lot of noise made about it. Mike Keegan, who's a great journalist, was talking about Parish's demeanour when he was over in Switzerland and how he didn't want to have a conversation, how fluid John Textor wasn't pleasant, he wasn't, how unpleasant Steve Parish was. That to me is all background noise. I would assume if Leicester can find their way through minefields of not being caught by two leagues, I'm assuming that Crystal Palace, given what's at risk here, what's at risk here is a participation in Europe for the first time in the club's history in a major competition. I think also the potential future of their manager is at risk here, because ultimately not being able to play in Europe with a manager that wanted backing last year, didn't get it, got on with it, produced a team that was quite formidable last year and wins a cup competition and then gets excluded, I think could be an existential risk for the manager staying at the club. So there's a lot to play for here.
Palace fans, Forest fans, get in touch, tell us what you think. Are Palace being made an example of? A Forest right to try and ensure that they are? 0371744. You can send us a text on WhatsApp.
They're not right, man. They aren't right, dude. We obviously know what the agenda is, bro. 1 second. I'm gonna jump on X as well to see what fans are saying about this, because I actually did put in Nottingham first before, right? Where is there was a post that I seen. There we go. There we go. So it was posted by Matt Lawton, and this was last night. Nottingham Forest right to UEFA over Crystal Palace ownership. And then Craig literally is summed it up very perfectly here. The same Nottingham Forest who, when in contention for the Champions League, claimed that Marinakis had diluted his control of the club to circumvent that very rule before he embarrassed himself storming the pitch to berate his manager. Right, yeah, and it looks like Gary Neville was onto something, wasn't it? It looks like Gary Neville was onto something, bro. And this is a post from Eurofoot. It says, Nottingham Forest have written to UEFA with their concerns about Crystal Palace playing in Europa League when they could be in breach of multi-club ownership rules, reports the Times Sport, mate. Yeah. Massive joke of a club who used to be considered so classy. Yeah, dude. It's just ruining it's just ruining Nottingham Forest's image, in my opinion. This, it actually is, bro. It actually is. Like, look, there's already fans that are just unhappy about this. Josh Owen says Nottingham Forest continue to be one of the most unlikable football clubs around. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Called himself, yeah. But yeah. There you go. I always like Brian Clough and his record, especially at Derby County and Northern Forest. 2 European Cups is the same as Juventus have in history. He and Pete Taylor are an unbelievable partnership. Great to see those photos on display. Yeah, man. Like this is one of the reasons why fans have a massive respect for a club like Nottingham Forest, because of the things that they achieved in the 1970s, 1980s, right? And Brian Clough, dude, what an absolute legend this man was, bro. And again, if you were to find out that of course, because right now, God rest his soul, he's not with us. I think he died in the early 2000s, but if he was around, right, in this time and heard about this, bro, he would absolutely be disgusted. He would be disgusted, bro. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Let us move on to this 5 Manchester United fans versus 1 secret Liverpool fan. So this again does come from a Box to Box show. Brilliant, guys. They actually do fantastic content. I did react to one of their videos a few weeks ago. If you guys do remember, the 1 Premier League fan versus the Serie A fan, La Liga fan, Bundesliga fan, and there was, I think, the Portuguese league fan, right? And I do like their ideas, bro. So shout out to these man. I think they're based in Canada, from from their accents. But anyway, guys, let's see what they have to say. Let's get it started. So I think the whole premise of this, just before we get started, I think the whole premise of this is basically like find the imposter. You know what I mean? Like find the fraud between the 6 people. So basically, there's one Liverpool fan that's pretending to be a Manchester United fan, and the other Man United fans have to basically find out who that fake United fan is. So let's get it started. And there's those,
people with us in the studio, and 5 of them are Manchester United fans, but there is one secret Liverpool fan. We're gonna go round by round, asking them questions, figure out who the snake within the 6 is.
So round 1 is just going to be an intro, getting to know all the contestants, what your name is, and how you became a Manchester United fan. So contestant number 1, tell us your name and why you became a United fan.
My name is Mitch. I've been a United fan since I was a kid, mainly because Wayne Rooney is my favorite player, and I'll stick with him wherever he goes.
Oh, really?
Wherever he goes.
Okay. So he's technically still sticking with
So
him.
technically, a couple months ago, like a year ago, we had a DC United fan.
So if you're a big Wayne Rooney fan, this is off the rip. Where did he just get fired? Which managerial job did he just get fired from?
Yeah.
Plymouth Argyle.
Okay, that's something a United fan would know.
Okay.
He had that shit loaded up too.
Yeah. And
Okay.
what's your favorite Wayne Rooney goal?
Yeah, because I was actually at the game. Sheffield United versus Plymouth. I was actually there.
This is my favorite goal.
Okay.
Against which team?
City.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, I know. This
Checks
is
out.
Iconic
goal.
one checks out.
That's an
I was
iconic.
trying to grill him early, but he had all the answers. So contestant number 2.
I'm Billy. I've been a Manchester United fan since I was very young, like as long as I could remember, pretty much. And it all started because my uncle got me a Wayne Rooney jersey.
Another Rooney enjoyer.
Something doesn't add up.
We can't even ask him the managerial question now.
What can we ask him? You know.
Wayne Rooney, okay? His record-breaking goal was a free kick. Do you remember who that goal was
It
against?
was against Stoke.
I can't say it.
It was against Stoke, man. It was against Stoke. That free kick was like at the edge of the box, and I think we were losing actually in that game too.
That's a tough
That's
question.
Liverpool right there.
Crazy.
No, that's not tough. As a Manchester United fan, you
But
should
brother,
know
look how
that.
young he is.
Brother, I was like 15 when that goal was scored.
But how old is that Wayne Rooney kit? Like, do you know what year it's from?
I had it like from before I could remember.
Oh, so we're pulling out stuff before we can remember. Okay,
I'm gonna use that one when I go
that
to
story
court.
looks a bit weak.
Listen,
That
that's
one
why I
looks a bit
became
weak.
guy
a
white.
Juventus fan. I got my first kid was just a Juventus kid, and I just started becoming
guy
a fan. So
white.
I get his story.
My guys, like you should like. I think as a United fan, you should be remembering this, man. As a United fan, like you should be knowing what your first kit was. I know what my first kit was. It was David Beckham's kit from the season before. Literally, the season he left Man United, 2003, bro. Number 7, fam. That's my first United kit that I remember.
Relate. Does anyone else know the answer to that question, by the way?
No.
No.
Big Wayne Rooney fan here doesn't know the answer.
All Liverpool fans apparently.
Okay, interesting. But thank you.
It was Stoke City, by the way.
It was Stoke City, by the way.
Nobody cares.
Contestant number 3.
My name is Devin. I've been a Manchester United fan since 2020, and I became a fan because of my grandmother.
2020. That's a recent one.
Did your grandmother become a Manchester United fan too at that time, or?
No, she was a Manchester United fan for a while.
She was an Anthony Martial.
We need to ask him why he became a United fan, though.
Just hanging out with my grandmother more, watching matches.
Okay.
Really?
Core memory right there.
That is a very niche. Like, it's a very specific
Who's your
story. I believe
favorite
it.
United player that you've watched so far in your life?
Bruno, of course.
Oh, okay.
Bruno enjoyer. Trying to get some brownie points from Varvar, I see. All right.
All right, contestant number 4.
My name is David, and I've been a Man U fan since 2012. And how I became a fan was similar to Billy. I had a Wayne Rooney jersey. It was my first jersey in the.
He said Man U. Listen, the guy said Man U, bro. My guy said Man U. Don't say. He said Man U. Man U. Man United is offensive, bro. Like, as a United fan, you should know not to say Man U, fam. You should. For me, I always say Man United. You never say Man U, bro. You never say that, fam.
And people say this guy don't got the streets.
I've never seen a Wayne Rooney kit.
This guy's got the streets.
You've seen someone wearing a Wayne Rooney kit?
Don't we have one?
No.
Rooney, no.
We don't have the CR7, 2008 kit. But 2012, so you started following after he won the title. How many players in the starting 11 can you name from that year? Do you remember? Or? It's tough. But how many players in the starting 11 can you name from that year? Do you remember? Or? It's tough. 2008 kit. But 2012, so you started following after he won the title. How many players in the starting 11 can you name from that year? Do you remember? Or?
2012. United didn't win the league in 2012. They won it in 2013.
It's tough. It's tough, but.
I'm trying to name it.
Just ring off a couple.
Ring off a couple.
We got Vidic, Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Got Wes Brown.
Wes Brown was not there. That's too early right there, buddy.
But it could be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be a good thing.
Carrick. Rooney. Ronaldo.
Ronaldo wasn't there in 2012. Okay, stories aren't adding up right now. I don't know about you guys.
Ronaldo in 2012.
Might as well just spell it out right now for
I'll put an
us.
asterisk next to his name.
A lot of deceiving answers, I'm not going to lie.
Ronaldo in 2012.
I hope Rooney, you won't be saying Rooney.
My name is Nick. I'm a proud bandwagon. Started being a fan in 2014 because I was 9 years old and at school we were playing soccer and I just wanted to be able to say that my favorite team was winning every year. And then we haven't won since. So I stopped being a fan for a few years and then I started again a few years back. So there's
And you chose it again?
I chose it again.
No, that's a toxic X situation.
Because I didn't know who else to go to. I had the kit. I was like I'm too lazy to buy another kit. I'll just watch the same team. Hopefully they'll get better. Because just hopefully they did not get better.
Why not?
They did not get better.
That could have been a well-constructed story, though.
But, I mean,
Been through more managers in schools.
he tried to join when they were winning, then ditched when they weren't winning, and then he said, you know what, let's try it one more
Kind
time.
of sounds like you with Inter, no? When you went to Man City for a couple years?
They don't know about that. They don't know about that.
That box lore, you guys don't know about that.
Millie said it straight.
I used to be a mixed fan, Inter City fan, getting my prem views up, but then Inter took my heart away since the beginning, so had to stick with one team.
No more prem anymore, right?
No,
You have to
especially
stick
after
with
the
what,
CL
like,
final, can't do that anymore.
don't get me wrong,
Millie
right?
pulled
Like, don't get me wrong. There is teams like, of course, outside the Premier League, which I do like. And if you say like, if you're to root for one team in a certain league, in a style league, I'll choose Hilal. You got what I mean? Portuguese league, I'll definitely choose Sporting. You got what I mean? In Belgium, it with Mechelen. Like there's certain teams that you do like in it, but there's one team that you have to support, die hard support, bro. And for me, it's United. So you can't just be double dipping, fam. It's not right.
Man City hat, the old vintage Eagles hat too.
But that story lines up. Honestly, if I had to describe it, I mean, I didn't ditch my club, but story's kind of the same, so it's actually not that bad of a story.
And finally, last but not least, contestant number 6.
Yeah, hi, my name is Nick. I've been a fan since...
Back-to-back Nicks?
We got two Nicks next to each other, bro.
One of them's lying about their name also, probably.
So I've been a fan since 2012. I just decided to like that team. My friends always liked Real Madrid, Barca, and I was like...
You went different.
Yeah, different route.
You went for the smaller club.
Yeah.
Smaller club, bro.
Blindly
At that
chose
point,
Man
Manchester United was
United.
bigger than Barcelona.
No, it wasn't.
People
How
will say,
old
even
are
in the
these
comments,
man, fam?
What did I just hear?
in 2012, Manchester United was bigger than Barcelona.
Barcelona, I think, won the Champions League in
Yeah,
2012.
okay, sure. But
Yeah,
we were
okay, but it's
bigger.
just a champion.
Barcelona did not win the Champions League in 2012, bro. 2011.
That really doesn't mean
That doesn't matter. It actually doesn't
It's harder to
matter.
win.
Actually doesn't
Unreal.
matter. But now we get to vote one person as who we think is guaranteed a Manchester United fan out of these 6. Now, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but the Plymouth Argyle
Really just the fact that he said that.
pushed me over the edge.
What I'm going to say, when you're the first person asked, there's a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
It's very tough being the first person up, and he didn't really stutter, too. So,
He did well.
Halfway volley, you also mentioned that.
He did well.
not terrible.
Okay, I'm putting my vote as contestant number 1.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, his was the most convincing.
Yeah.
There was no holes in it.
Brother, I could see a red shirt under that. Zip it up. That's the Manchester United fan. Come on.
Yeah, okay. My vote's for Mitch too, contestant number 1.
Mitch.
All right, so Mitch, thank you for your service. It's a pleasure. We'll see you at the end of the video when we reveal.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so in round
Round
2,
two.
we've already voted off the one person we thought was a Manchester United fan, so technically, there's still one Liverpool fan hiding among these 5 people. So, this round, we're going to be asking them a bunch of questions a Manchester United fan should know. So, who was the best manager post Sir Alex Ferguson, in your opinion?
For me personally, I'd have to go with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
What? 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 You mean the terrorist? The terrorist? Bro? Ole, no, it's Mourinho. It's hands down Mourinho, bro. It's hands down Mourinho, man.
Interesting. He's an Ole enjoyer.
That's what you would have said, no?
I'm gonna refrain from giving my opinion, so I can let everyone speak. But actually, I'm not gonna say anything.
But Ole's a good pick. Why do you say Ole?
I mean,
no trophies. That's
no trophies. Yeah, but look, I mean, we had the second place, much better than what we're doing right now.
But we're Manchester United fans. We don't live second place. That's for the Liverpool fans. So
absolutely not. But no one else has won the league either. So, I mean, in terms of enjoying the football that was on display, I think Ole had the most beautiful football to watch.
You see?
What about in Champions League? How did you like him in Champions League?
I mean,
Champions League.
I don't
bro.
like anyone in Champions League.
Did this guy?
Showing the football that was on display, I think Ole had the most beautiful football to watch.
You see?
What about in Champions League? How did you like him in Champions League?
I mean, I didn't like anyone in Champions League.
It's Mourinho, dude.
Good answer.
Mourinho's been the best manager for us.
PSG comeback. So, like, if we're talking about CLs,
That's it?
Arsenal, Rinky-Dinky second place, and
but-
this guy's lifting a PSG.
Noted.
Comeback, bro.
one thing I do have to mention,
Noted.
though, celebrating second place wins is not a Manchester United thing. That's all I have to say. But
Yeah.
They do that.
And now you celebrate what, 12?
yeah, I don't know. Liverpool always say, oh my God, we finished second to Manchester City, we finished second to... That sounds like a Liverpool thing to say. So that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All right. Contestant number 3.
Devin.
I'm gonna have to say it with my chest. Eric Ten Hag.
With your chest?
That's a Liverpool fan right there.
You don't have to, bro. You really don't have to do the chest.
No one's forcing you to say Ten Hag, bro.
How many trophies did he lift?
But what trophies did he lift? An FA Cup and a Carabao Cup?
It's pretty good for
more than all.
So he done last year, 2020. He became a fan in 2020.
Yeah, that's true. So you only really got to experience Ole, an end of Ole, and Ten Hag. So yeah, the story's kind of lining up there.
All right.
Maybe.
He can only have watched what he
Yeah,
was.
and I feel
His
bad for
story,
only
like,
watching Ten
listen,
Hag
his story is a little bit too solid, though. His story is a little bit too solid. If you get what I mean. You know, he came in with the whole 2020 thing, and it says Ten Hag because, you know, like, it's very recent. It's very...
I feel bad for you.
So wait, Ten Hag or Amrin?
I'm right.
Okay.
All right, so check it out.
Let's give him a bit of time, you know?
Note it down.
At least.
It's a project, right?
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on him.
All right. Contestant number 4.
I'm going to say Jose Mourinho.
Exotic.
Not to celebrate second place, but he did get us to second place.
They're all sounding like Liverpool fans right now.
But you don't have any. Like you're acting as if you have a manager that won anything.
I was about to contradict my own opinions that I said in the
You do that weekly.
I will not be speaking because if I speak, I will be in big trouble. So
Mourinho said, he literally said, like, one of his biggest achievements was finishing second
That's
for Manchester United. You know how embarrassing that is?
Mourinho,
Yeah.
current Fenerbahce manager.
Former Manchester United manager. So
Former Inter manager, correct?
won a treble.
All I'm saying.
But Europa League definitely a big trophy, I find.
My answer would have been Jose Mourinho.
And that year, I think we won like 40 games undefeated or 30 games undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. So
It's been a minute since you've done that, huh?
Ten Hag went a pretty long time undefeated. So
2 trophies.
Yeah, 2.
Cool.
All right.
I like that answer.
Yep.
Nick T.
Nick T.
Not to piggyback, but the special one, Jose Mourinho. I mean, like Millie said, Europa League is a big trophy. You know, if we win the trophy, if we win Europa League this season, if we win the Europa League this season, we're gonna celebrate that. So why not celebrate it when we won it with Jose Mourinho?
That doesn't mean
There's
it's
a
worth
bit.
less.
There's a bit of.
Well, my friend, I hate to break it to you. We didn't win the Europa League, mate. We those pricks didn't show up, bro.
Slight underneath that comment, though.
Why?
He's, if we win Europa League, we're going to celebrate this season. There's a bit of like,
What else is there to celebrate this season?
there's a bit of spice behind that one, though.
What are you talking
Crazy
about?
word.
As if he's a Liverpool fan?
Bro, that was kind of a derogatory comment.
Bro,
If we win Europa League, we're going to celebrate that.
Of course, because it's a big trophy.
It's not.
It is.
A Liverpool fan would not be saying that.
But also, I also sometimes wouldn't pick him because of all the drama he had with Pogba. All the drama he had with Pogba. I'd say he's the one who drove him out.
Accusations.
I'd say he's the one who drove him out.
Okay.
Fell out of love with the club and it ruined us for the year.
He does know quite a bit of the situation, though. The Mourinho
Yeah.
Unless he's
situation.
pocket watching.
I mean, they could all be pocket watching, for being honest.
That is very true.
But look, that was good information.
He does
And
like,
so I think the best
like to know that Pogba thing is it's a little bit, you know, yeah.
we got since Sir Alex. I think it was Ole. We played. I wasn't scared of opponents when we had the team.
Bro, why are
That's a good
these
point,
man
'cause that's
picking
true
Ole,
from a
bro?
neutral standpoint.
Like, Ole was,
When they had
for
Ole,
me,
they
like,
were
I
seeing that
didn't
they were
rate Ole
comfortable
as a
with
United
society.
manager.
I would agree with Ole. I think Ole was the time where we actually went into games with no stress at all. Jose Mourinho was a good answer as well. Ten Hag is crazy. Crazy word.
Ten Hag's diabolical, bro. Like, Ten Hag as the best like manager post Fergie is absolutely diabolical.
But he started following in 2020, so that's okay.
All right. Well, it's a good thing we got a second question,
Yeah.
so that whoever didn't say Ole can get it right.
Yeah.
Who is the most underrated player at Manchester United right now? Subjective, so you can say anyone.
Yeah.
Actually,
Who is the most underrated player at Man United? Oh my days. I'll let
we'll
this
start
man
now. Start
answer.
with contestant number 6.
There's so many players to choose from, right? There's so many good
players.
players. Like, I'm
So
losing
many
track of
players to choose from. There's so many players so many players. So many players.
Do you think this is a difficult question?
No. Because it's down to 2 or 3 players in my mind. So we'll see.
Hoyland, Xerxes.
No, Hoyland or Xerxes, are you crazy?
Easy region.
I think the most underrated player is Xerxes.
Xerxes.
Not a bad answer.
I told you, because Xerxes is a good player, bro.
Not a bad answer, I'll give you that.
You're still defending your Serie A player. of the
I
season.
like Xerxes.
Would start at Milan.
No.
No, but underrated.
Underrated.
Xerxes' form has picked up. Beginning of the season, he was horrible, but recently, people...
Let him justify
Okay,
it.
sorry, go ahead.
Doing the work for him.
So I think Xerxes is the most underrated player because I think he had a lot of hate when he just came. I wouldn't say he played the worst football, but he played really bad at first. I would say 2-3 games. And compared to Hoyland, I like his first touch, how he creates the play. That's why I think.
Bro, he knows ball.
He gets the game.
Knows.
Would you want Xerxes to be a starter at Manchester United next season? Or in a Champions League contending team, do you think Xerxes has a spot?
Brother, let us make CL first, and then we'll worry about Champions League contending teams.
When next season, you want Xerxes starting?
I think we should get someone else as a starting striker, but I think he's better than Hoyland, so we bought it for cheaper.
So he's officially off the Hoyland train.
That's a good point.
That's someone who's watched recently because Xerxes recently has been picking up
He's made a good point. He's made a good point there.
form compared to the beginning of the
See, even
season.
I would say that, and I'm a hater. So,
So I mean, as of now, contestant 6, you're on top of the list.
Ole plus Xerxes, 2 good answers.
Yeah, 2 very good answers.
all right, contestant number 5, you said Jose Mourinho. What do you think about this one?
I would say Ugarte.
Oh, you have those, bro.
No,
Good answer.
Look, start of the season, not good. Like, understandably, coming to the Prem, the hardest league where even when you're playing the bum teams, you're going to have a hard time. But the game that Loki changed it for me was the 1-1 game against Arsenal. That 1-1 game against Arsenal, he was shut down.
So you watched that 1-1 game against Arsenal?
Yeah.
Who scored for Man United?
Or Rashford.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. It was a Bruno free kick. It was a Bruno free kick. Rashford was nowhere near that teammate. It was nowhere near that teammate. So listen. Dude, I think it's other Nick because there's 2 Nicks there, bro. Like Nick that's like a little bit inward. You're sus, my friend. You're sus.
Are you,
Brother, that was the Bruno free kick. But come on.
wait, okay, that's an asterisk.
That's a write that one down.
That's an asterisk right there.
That was Bruno free kick, bro. We can't.
It's a Bruno free kick.
Yeah,
There's so many 1-1 games.
It was the Bruno free kick where Raya was a little bit too far out to the right.
I feel like he knows this.
Is it Declan?
It was Declan Rice, okay.
Oh, but he was
He was hate watching.
He was hate watching.
He was hate watching.
Sounds like a Liverpool fan.
And the hate is stronger than love. We know that. We've confirmed that.
Such a bad goal, though.
I don't think we'll say it. That's not the first time I heard that.
It was such a bad goal.
It really was not a bad goal.
It wasn't a bad goal, bro. That Declan Rice goal was a slapper to the bottom corner from outside the box. It was a good goal.
If David De Gea was still here, he makes that save.
David De Gea.
What? That's a fake Man United because any Man United fan would watch the last season of De Gea and say that was the worst goalkeeper you've ever watched in your life. So that's okay.
I think last season.
Onana cleared.
Onana was much worse.
No, okay.
He knows ball.
But bro, current day Fiorentina De Gea is better than current day Onana. So
Such a shame.
Conversations.
he might not be a United fan, but he knows ball.
What a fall from grace.
All right, thank you. Contestant number 4.
David,
I'm gonna say Amad Diallo is the most underrated player right now.
Oh, okay.
that was on my short
Is
list.
he even underrated anymore?
He's not underrated anymore.
Yes,
I think he still is. He's like very versatile. He plays like under the Amarim system. Like, he can play right wing back, he can play up the wing, and he's very strong. Even though he's considered small and not strong on the ball, but like he fights hard.
Who would you compare him to? Like, do you think his potential can be like what echelon of player? Are we talking about a top tier player, a Messi, or somewhere down there?
I mean, obviously not Messi, but
The stretch.
I wouldn't call it enough.
Listen. There's a reason why we call this guy the Ivorian Messi, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's a reason why we call him the Ivorian Messi, fam. Like, I'm not saying he's like laying on Messi guy's clone because that's freaking crazy, right? But the way that he plays, like sometimes, guys, I kid you not. I know it sounds crazy. I know this sounds absolutely insane. But there's little key instances, right, where Ahmad does like kind of look like Messi a bit. It sounds mental for me to say that, but after the season we had, but there is instances where like the way he moves, you'll be like, I think like it's a little bit like what game was it now? It was against it was against Leicester. I'm just gonna come off the that little thing there, guys. Just a second. I'm just gonna share the screen with you guys. Just for the people that don't believe me, bro. Let's see if it picks it up. There was a skill that he did. Where it was, I can't describe it to you because I was gonna say Sham God, but for that's people that watch for the people that watch what do you call it? For the people that watch basketball, bro. There was a skill that Ahmad did, right? And I was like to myself, like, what? What is that, bro? Where is that? Where is that skill, man? It was about like 3 guys and they actually pulled him and they fouled him and dragged him down. It was at the end of the game. It was at the end of the game, bro, and he took on about like 3 guys. It wasn't 7 months ago, was it? Was it about 7 months ago? No, it wasn't about 7 months ago. No. No. There you go. Look, Amad Diallo copying Messi's dribbling skills, thrashing through Leicester guys. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Look. So he nah. That's not it. That was not it. That was not it. That was not it. There was one. I think it's gonna keep showing the same clip, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna keep on showing the same clip. It was at one point. It was about like 3 guys that he did it to, and I was thinking to myself like, what on earth? But it's not gonna show it though. It's not gonna show it though. We'll continue though. We'll move, guys.
Now, when you said that,
we'll move.
Messi's not far, bro.
What do they call him in school?
The Ivorian Messi, bro.
Can you reach like Robin level?
Yeah, I think that's a good
ceiling. Is that? No, bro, I'm not asking you.
Bro, I don't know. I'm getting interaction baited in real life.
Interaction baited. But that's a good answer. I like Diallo, but to think he can reach that high level,
Saka. I would say if you're gonna compare him to a player, I'd say Saka. Personally.
And you'd be lying.
Oh my God.
Contestant number 3, most underrated player.
Matthias de Ligt.
De Ligt underrated.
De Ligt.
Disgusting, bro.
Look,
We have reporters coming out saying he's been a 5 on 10 this season. Like, come on.
He is overheated. I'll tell
He
you.
is overheated.
He's reading the reporters though. That's a United.
Casual vibe.
that's a scrolls on Twitter right there.
That's a good
a-
shout. That's a good shout. The link's
But,
actually a
like,
good
the
shout,
Ligt,
you know.
He's been a decent signing, but club after club, like every big club seems to like toss him to the side.
He's failing upwards, bro.
So what rating would you give the transfer now that you've seen what you've gotten?
I mean, based off what we've gotten, probably like a 7, but I think we can get more towards a 9.
9.
Once he's been in the squad a bit more.
He's gonna need to pull out a couple.
With all our
crazy
defenders
forces.
healthy, with all our
9.
defenders healthy,
9's a
Lucha,
little bit too high.
Aiden Heaven now, Euro, Maguire even. Are you starting the Ligt?
Absolutely.
Who would be your starting center backs?
Lenny Yoro, De Ligt, and Licha.
As most
Very balanced. Left-footed Licha, Maguire is not even.
Just pull pork. 3 back,
Okay,
pull
bro.
pork.
Okay.
Getting rage bait.
Yeah. This is triggering me, and I'm not even
Bro,
supposed
Licha
to.
and Euro?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's pull pork and slow cook, bro.
Yeah.
Contestant number 2, Billy.
I mean, I had my answer loaded up, but you guys kind of gave away his name on the streets, the Ivorian Messi. I'm at Diallo.
Okay.
I know some people were saying, is he even underrated anymore? I still think so. I think his ceiling is.
He's not good.
There's a reason they call him the Ivorian Messi.
But that doesn't
There's
mean
a
he's
reason.
underrated.
Yes,
that means he's
absolutely.
heavily. That
No,
means
because people say, yeah, he's good. No one's saying he's great. I think he's beyond good now. He's getting to that level where like his potential's really showing. He kind of does everything. When you watch the United games this season, there are some games that are like absolute disasters. Ahmad's always there. He's battling. He's making it enjoyable to watch.
So he's just one of the more consistent players, and we're considering him the Ivorian
Okay.
Messi.
Listen. Why is a United fan? Why is definitely a United fan?
It's very low.
Very low. Touching the ground even.
Yeah.
But this season, Ahmad's been that guy.
Amongst like a bunch of
I'm
children.
looking at
Am I
He knew
United?
that.
the guy like
That was the last one.
next to White. I'm looking at the guy next to White and the
There's
other
still
guy,
a
the
Liverpool
other
fan
Nick.
amongst you. We're gonna need to find it, but we have to take out a Manchester.
For me,
United
the
player.
winning combo.
Yes.
The winning combo is Ahmad Ole. That's the winning combo. For me, personally, as a Manchester United fan, my experience as a Manchester United fan, the answers that come out on top are Ahmad Ole. So I would vote Billy.
Yeah, this guy's crazy, bro.
For me, I'm looking at
There's no way. Like, it's nah.
Dave, just because Mourinho, Diallo, Rooney, like 2012 started following, I think that's like a Manchester United fan through and through.
I think we can count out the Ugarte's and the Ligt.
Yeah, but that I don't know.
Yeah, they're not safe. They are not safe.
But contestant 6, he knew ball, bro.
Yeah, no,
he
the
knew
Xerxes
ball,
teams,
he
back
knew
it up.
Xerxes timeline.
I'd say you have to be a United fan or else you wouldn't say Xerxes.
And he said Ole too. So
It's not bad either. I'm between those two. I'm gonna say Billy though. Confirmed.
Billy
I
contestant.
want to go with his professional opinion, but
Yeah, I'm saying contestant 6. I think you're a Manchester United fan, definitely.
Okay.
you?
Contestant 6 then.
Contestant 6 too, then. I guess contestant 6, you are confirmed a Manchester United fan.
Okay.
See you at the review.
Thank you.
Moving on to round 3, this is going to be the trivia round. We have 4 contestants left, and hopefully the Liverpool fan is still standing in front of us. They now have boards. We have 5 questions. Boys, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. So question 1, and if you're a Manchester United fan, I'm not gonna lie, you should know this. But look, I'll give a bit of leeway. The 2020 fan might not know some of these.
I took a few years off.
You took a few years.
I took a solid-
That's an open-ended.
I took a solid 4 years off.
Define the years.
2017 to 2019. 2016 to 2019.
It's off because you
My
said
bad.
4 years and you said
2016 to 2019, that's my bad.
2019, so 3 years.
It's on him, bro. Take it on the chin.
3.5 seasons, a solid 3.5 seasons.
He's
January transfer
definitely
window,
a
maybe.
suspect. He's definitely a
Came
suspect.
back in.
The first question: when Manchester United signed Lukaku in 2017, one player posted a video with him asking, "Is it signed?" Who was that player?
Paul Pogba.
So famous video in United culture was in Los Angeles. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Crazy.
I told Barbar that no one was going to be able to get this question.
I could not get this question.
Real Manchester United fans know this. I'll even play it.
I was
Paul
not watching
Pogba.
this time.
I'll be surprised. If you guys get this, you convince me.
It's Paul
Devin already
Pogba.
know. Billy's got something going on.
Yeah, look at
Dave's
this.
already done.
It's not a confident article. That was I'm never getting that answer, so let me just write something down.
Save some time here.
That's exactly what it was.
All right, so seems like all the contestants have their answers locked in. Let's reveal. Contestant 1, let's go one by one.
I wasn't exactly sure, but I went with Pog Boom himself.
Okay.
Devin?
Jesse Lingard.
We're not playing Jeopardy, but I mean, yeah, sure, you can write who is Jesse Lingard.
All right.
Dave?
Jay Lings.
Okay, Nick?
Pogba.
Pogba.
Okay.
So 2 Lingards, 2 Pogbas.
2 people are right, 2 people are wrong.
50-50.
So in the famous video that will be playing on screen right now, it was
Paul
Pogba.
Pogba.
Famous video, come on, Manchester United fans, we should know this.
You know that, right?
We should know this.
Bro, so we got 2
Yeah,
guys.
when that video dropped, you know, the listen. The way I was gassed when that video of Lukaku and Paul Pogba dropped. I think they were in LA back then. Of course, like there was that whole bid that Man United had put like a £75 million bid for Lukaku when he was at Everton, right? And the way like they confirmed that transfer, like I tell you what, right, guys, listen. Man United is the best club at announcing transfers. Like, we started this culture, you get what I mean, with like Paul Pogba doing the whole DAP thing with Storms, right? That LA video with Lukaku and Paul Pogba and like Paul Pogba goes up to Romelu Lukaku is like, oh, so is it done? Like, Lukaku's like, I'll see you in training tomorrow, bro. And then they do the handshake, dude. Like, come on. That's how you announce a transfer. That is how you announce a transfer. Like, United and at announcing transfers, we all good. But, like, the players that were signed turn out to be... bro, they turn out to be duds. They turned out to be so bad, bro. 75 mil for Lukaku, bro. And listen, don't get me wrong, he did get goals, right? But for me, he wasn't at the level that we needed a United striker to be, fam. But that announcement was absolutely lit. Bro.
Clearly on the right side.
Dave, Devin, not looking good right now for the boys.
It was a 50-50. It was between Pogba and Lingard.
That's what they all say after the fact, yeah. All right.
I wasn't even watching, I guess.
Whoa, there's some internal beef.
Whoa.
We'll give you a bit of a layup now. The easiest one. I would say the easiest question, on the list.
That's definitely the easiest one.
What sponsor was on the front of the Manchester United jersey in the 2012 season when they won the title?
Easiest question.
Now, everyone who said they have a Rooney jersey, you should know this.
That's true.
This is some jersey talk right now.
Yeah.
This is some kid talk.
Yeah.
That's like 2014. Rooney was gone.
This guy's news, man. It's just,
Yeah, but if you're a Manchester United fan, you've seen, yeah, exactly, that's true, Dave.
He's
I
Aeon,
don't
mate.
examine the kits.
Oh, he's not a kid guy.
All these Rooney fans who've got the shirts should know
One kid,
this.
that's the one kid I know.
All right, so everyone
2012.
has their answers locked in. Reveal, Billy.
Not very confident in this one. I went to Vodafone.
Vodafone.
Okay, what's an older one?
Who do you see when you think of Vodafone, a Vodafone United kid?
See, this is one of the ones that it was before I
Sounds
started
like these
really,
guys,
really
bro.
following. So I guess in my head is Rooney, but I don't even like.
That's okay.
All right.
That's an all right answer. Devin? Chevrolet?
Chevrolet.
Okay, Chevrolet.
2012, he said Chevy.
That's Jay Lings.
I'm putting a big X next to
Okay,
it.
well, maybe it's correct. Who knows? Dave? AIG?
Okay, AIG.
Oh, we're going with
And
that.
Nick?
Well, I know you're going to say now.
Chevrolet.
Chevy.
Conversations.
All over. Bro, how are these guys United fans, bro? How are these guys United fans, bro? How are these guys Man United fans? How are these guys Man United fans, dude? How are they United fans, bro? Like, how can you not know? You literally said that you got the Rooney jersey from 2012 and they're asking the question, what is the sponsor for? What's the sponsor, bro, for United in 2012? The shirt sponsor is Aeon. And these mans are putting out your Chevrolets, your AIGs, bro. And somebody said Vodafone. Vodafone. Bro, I'm pretty sure we stopped getting sponsored by Vodafone around 05. Was that 05? Yeah, it was like 05, 06. After that, it was AIG. I'm pretty sure it was like 05, 06. After that, it was AIG, bro. How are these guys United fans, dude? How are these Man United fans, bro? It kills me. That's actually pretty funny, fam. How, bro? How?
Just that they still had it back then.
Well, listen, I think
it was an estimated.
Lingard in 2012 was still in the womb.
Bro, he's like 12 years old, bro.
noted. Noted. Right now, everyone's noted at this rate.
All right, so you guys were all wrong.
Yeah.
It was AOM. So this round really didn't
I'll give it to
anything.
Dave. They've got a 3-letter acronym.
Yeah.
So.
It was close enough.
It's literally Aeon.
the first Rooney jersey I have, I think it's from like 2010. It's like the black one that says AIG.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's a classic
That's
though.
a 2008 CL winning. I don't know if the black kit.
The black kit, the AIG one is probably talking about 0910 with the blue thing over it. But there's also the black one from 2008 as well.
It wasn't the CL winning season, but it was around there, yeah.
Long sleeve too.
Yeah,
Vodafone was close too.
apparently.
Vodafone was
that was
close
supposed to
too.
be the easiest one here.
Oh my God.
All right, okay. We'll give you one there. You don't need to get the right answer. Like, we're not expecting you to get exactly the right answer, but ballpark. You should know around what it is. What is the capacity of Old Trafford?
75K.
I'm not asking.
Come on.
Bro, you should write it already.
I'm not asking for the exact number,
75K.
obviously. I'm not telling you, but you should know around what it is. Billy was quick.
Throw
Billy.
5 distinct
This guy knows
numbers.
the exact number.
I saw no zeros in that.
All right, so we're all locked in. Reveal your answer. We're gonna
let's
start over
see.
there first now.
I put a range if that's okay. 65 to 70,000.
Bit of a cop out. I'm not gonna
Get him
lie.
out. Get him out.
Sure.
Yeah,
I hate
he's,
ranges.
Noted.
This guy's getting
he's
ranges for the years he
definitely
started.
high up on my list. Dude in the grey is definitely high up on my list right now, bro.
It's a small range.
Noted.
Okay, Dave.
I went pretty precise. 78,721.
Ooh, okay. So you're trying to make it look like you know it.
Devin.
That's what I'm hearing.
Sorry.
75,000.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all similar.
Billy.
I just went with 80,000. 80K.
So I'm sure he was writing more numbers. than
Yeah, yeah. All right. Pal, you want to lay it on them? What's the number?
Relate on the pause.
Yes, pause that. 74,310. So
Devin.
Devin was the closest one.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yes,
I
yes,
that's
yeah.
very
And
impressive.
then close seconds, and then
The range.
Yeah, the range.
I almost believe Dave because he gave an exact number. If I had no idea, I would have believed Dave.
He was close.
I think, I don't know, that number has to
Oh, he's calling the
He's
question.
calling you out. Fact check that one, bro.
I think because of recent renovations, it's probably,
He got you on the renovations. Renovations.
They had 4,000 seats.
yeah, like something like that.
Hospitality area, maybe.
The trinkets, but the trinkets.
Trinkets.
Yeah, yeah.
Find the trinkets.
Alright.
Question 4. Now, if we were there watching the PSG, it's always referenced back to this PSG game. If you were watching that PSG game, you should know which player famously locked up Mbappe in the Champions League game against PSG to help us go through.
Well, we did speak about this. We did.
Well, to help us go through, it depends on which one, because there was 2 PSG games. There was, 2019 and 2021? The 2019 one was when Rashford scored that penalty for us to beat PSG 3-1. And then the 2021 one was, I think it was Tuanzebe and Eric Bailly that shut down. Or was it Wan-Bissaka? It's between Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, and Eric Bailly.
There were
Speaking about
memes.
this PSG game already.
There were
Memes about this game. This guy was known to have dropped a masterclass. And honestly, there was kind of 2 players who did it a bit.
Yes.
So I'll accept both answers for this case.
No, we're not accepting the other one.
That's a cop out.
He just happened to be on the field.
What do you mean you played well, bro? Mbappe did nothing, so.
It's
Nick.
Tuanzebe.
Oh, you're not
She should have
ready?
been Tuanzebe.
Hide your board.
I'm not ready yet.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Bro, Nick, there's a big asterisk next to your name right now, bro. I'm not gonna count.
Getting bigger.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Larger again. Crazy.
All right, Nick, reveal first.
Varane.
Varane.
All right.
I didn't put anyone down. I forgot his name, but
It's the guy, the Nick on the far right is definitely, he's definitely suspect number 1 for being.
Forgot his name.
What was that?
How does a United fan forget this guy's name?
yeah, I'm embarrassed to admit that.
Embarrassed.
That's a decent answer.
Asterisk.
No answer might be better than Varane, because Varane wasn't even at the club at this point, so.
He was an academy player.
He was.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're
Bro,
shuffling.
that's an amazing answer. He didn't know the answer, so he didn't want to put
Axel
something bad.
Tuanzebe.
You're shuffling around it. Okay, that's not bad. Devin?
What the hell is
Wan-Bissaka the Lambo Spider.
Oh.
See, that's okay.
He knows the lingo. He knows the lingo.
He's in tune with the community.
He's in tune.
Okay, Billy?
I was also going to attempt to draw a spider. I decided to go for this instead. Yeah.
Now, it's hotly contested if it was either Wan-Bissaka or
What does that mean?
Tuanzebe, which is who he was referencing.
But Wan-Bissaka it's okay to say.
Yeah, it's okay to say Varane though.
Varane is crazy.
wasn't even at the club.
Varane's diabolical. He's definitely the fake
So
fan.
he's definitely, if he is the Manchester United fan, he's definitely a casual.
Yeah,
An
definitely.
aggressive casual.
most are.
Yeah. Most are, really.
Yeah.
So are we counting everyone?
Mitch in round 1, bro. That's a story that he had down packed.
Exactly.
You think Mitch would have gotten this answer?
Yes, Mitch would have
100%.
Remember, I'm a bandwagon. I don't care unless we win.
He did say that.
Okay, he did say he was a bandwagon.
Bro,
Proud bandwagon.
this guy probably just watched our video of Real Madrid and Barcelona where the guy said the same exact thing, so it gives him a cutoff of every single question.
I
he
think
gets
he's
wrong.
talking about
Contestant
gambling,
4. He's
though.
gonna
I think
be
he's talking about
He was more of the gambler type, yes.
I quit gambling a while ago.
All right, final question. How many Ballon d'Or winners does Manchester United have in their history? And if you can name all 4, you get brownie. Oh, fuck. Okay, so now write down, I said the answer. Write down who the Ballon d'Or winners in Manchester United history were.
Man said 04. He said he gave him the answer. Oh my days, bro! This guy actually gave him the answer, dude. He actually gave him the answer. It's that Ronaldo's definitely one, of course. Dennis Law. I think it was George Best. I think it was the other one. Or was it Charlton? Bobby Charlton. I'm forgetting the other one. Who's the other one? Who's the other one?
The whole list.
Robert had to double dish and double back.
Who's the other one?
You see that improv skills? You impressed? Very good.
The goalkeeper's moving. Good question.
You know what would have been even better if you didn't tell me the answer.
Who's
So
the
a lot
other
of
one?
options here. So many great players have come through our history.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many.
Super duper amount.
God, Dave stumbled.
They're so good you don't even remember their names.
Now, some of these you gotta roll back the Rolodex. Let's just
You
say.
gotta get your bag. That's what you're saying.
2020 won't help him.
No.
Oh, 20. Oh my God.
He's cooked.
But it
Yeah.
depends. Sometimes you're a new fan and you start diving into history.
All right, so contestant one, reveal Billy.
I went with not the winners because, to be honest, all before my time. But I went with who should have won it a couple years ago, 3 years ago. The man himself, Marcus Rashford, should have been the winner in 2022-23 season.
No, that's a Manchester United.
Not a bad answer.
He's trying to get over. I like it.
Honestly, not a bad answer.
There you
Bro,
go.
this guy's playing 40 chess.
Yeah.
40
Unbelievable.
chess.
Wait, can you name one Ballon d'Or winner?
Cantona. Nope. Definitely not.
Come on, bro.
No, that's
One of the greatest ever.
Okay, Devin, reveal.
I've got no. I'll let them cook. Oh my God,
Embarrassingly,
wait, there's one I just realized. I'll let him go.
embarrassingly, I forgot one of the members of the Holy Trinity, but
Okay.
So the man from 2020.
Even put Dennis Law in there. Man said Holy Trinity.
Pulling out some,
Yeah, that's some good facts.
some black and white dons there. Black and white video dons.
Dave?
all right, I got Ronaldo, and we got Cantona, Anthony in 2026.
We're bringing Anthony back to the club?
Book it.
Book it.
Book it.
They're re-signing him.
Brother's been killing it in Spain.
Yeah, he's killing it.
That's how easy La Liga
No,
is.
but to be fair, Manchester United fan will they will have known that
Anthony. I don't get this obsession with guys. I don't get this obsession with Anthony. I honestly do not get this. What is this obsession with Anthony, bro? I mean, him being a Ballon d'Or on the same level as Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. I don't get this obsession with Anthony. I know he's bad. I know he's bad. But like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, every single time when I look online, it's like, oh yeah, but Pele might have done that skill, but Anthony did it first or something like that, dude. Like, it's this whole like Chuck Norris kind of joke thing now, you know, Anthony, bro. Like,
he's been good.
I'm a Liverpool fan, bro. Every time you hop on Instagram, it's a new Anthony post.
State of your club.
Nick?
I put the only one that matters, Ronaldo.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
That's an easy one.
GOAT status.
All right.
Doesn't matter who's below him, yeah.
Devin had 3 of them correct. The only one he was missing was Dennis Law. He knew Dennis also. All right. I think my vote is clear for this round.
Yeah.
Devin?
Don't be reactionary to the last answer. Devin said Trevor Lane.
He also said Ten Hag.
Yeah, but that's a man that loves the game.
David hasn't skipped a beat, bro.
Except for writing Anthony in 2026.
And the blank.
And he wrote Cantona.
He did have a blank whiteboard.
He didn't write it down.
Yes, but he knew.
Yeah, but not even Aaron
I
Wan-Bissaka.
didn't know.
Didn't know, so he admitted he didn't know.
I go to war.
I said he was in the academy. He was closer anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not bad.
And the rest of his answers, the stadium one.
Yeah,
Look,
they-
I'm okay with whatever you guys want. Dave or Devin. Definitely one of the guys who
I'll
starts
put
with
my
D.
credibility on the line. That on David.
Okay.
David's a Manchester United fan. What do you guys think?
You have no ounce of credibility left after all these takes on this channel, but okay, well you have one smidge of
Whatever's
credibility left. Yeah.
I'll put up firm's credibility on the line. That's my collateral.
Perfect, Dave.
All right.
David.
David, thank you.
Take care.
See you at the end. So we are now into round 4, and we are left with 3 contestants that have deemed to be somewhat close to Liverpool fans. But this round, we're going to ask you something a Manchester United fan can't come up with on the spot. Name one thing you actually like about Liverpool. Now, I know it's a difficult question, and I think I said this about Barcelona also, but there's not many things here to like about this dusty-ass club.
Oh my goodness.
So,
You're talking about multiple time CL winners, bro.
all right, Billy.
Honestly, it's tough to come up with an answer. I'd like to say that my favorite thing about Liverpool is the fact that even in their best seasons and in our worst, they still let us get some results, such as the game last year where Manu scored that absolute banger.
The 7-0.
Now you see, he's smart. He's smart. He's not doing the thing that the last time the contestants did. He spun it back on Liverpool. I like them because they suck.
Yeah, but that's not something you like about them.
Oh, I love them for that.
The 7-0, like I said.
They always beat you, no?
They always beat you.
Calm down with always.
I'll take a note of that, though. Noted.
Contestant number 3.
I'm gonna have to say the cop.
The cop.
It doesn't exactly roar like the Stretford end, but you gotta respect it. They do.
So you think the Stretford end's better than the cop?
Ooh. But you just like the cop.
What do you think about You'll Never Walk Alone at the beginning of the games?
It's pretty iconic.
Yeah?
It's the 2 guys on the right for me, guys. It's the 2 guys on the right.
That's the question. Couldn't tell you.
They lose.
Can you sing me You'll Never Walk Alone or not?
You're confident?
So you know it.
Why would you know that? As a Manchester United fan, noted.
My goodness, bro.
Okay.
Give him a glory, glory, man.
Yeah, finish. Sing me, which chant can you sing? Let's see.
What is it, singing lesson?
Which Manchester United?
America's Got Talent. You don't even know it. You're not even a Liverpool fan.
You can sing it with one.
Anthony Martial chant. Very iconic chant.
2020.
Anthony Martial chant.
But what are you talking about, man?
What?
Martial chant. You sing it.
50 million down the drain, Anthony Martial scores as he scores again.
Billy shaking his head.
Billy knows.
You know about it.
Oh, that's the part I know. The whole thing.
Yeah, we don't worry about the whole thing in North America. That's for the UK guys to worry
That's
about.
it. I've never been to a game.
For contestant number 3.
Okay.
Contestant number 4. Right, no, he's number 5.
Nick.
I want to say something I like about Liverpool. I say like a certain moment was when they clapped for Ronaldo in the 7th minute to
For his child.
for his childhood.
Yeah.
That was, you know, even as bitter arch rivals to do that when it wasn't even like organized by like broadcast and everything, just be able to do that. I think You know, hats to them. Hats to them.
Okay, top 10
Okay,
respect moment.
okay, good
That's a
answer.
good one.
But that's very specific.
A Liverpool fan.
That's something a Liverpool fan would remember.
Well, you must have watched that game. You're either watching it for Manchester United or watching it for
I think
Liverpool.
every Man United fan is watching a Man United Liverpool game.
Agreed. Agreed. You got me there. Hands up. Got me there. Just trying to get me. Just trying to do my due diligence here, that's all.
Guys, we gotta vote somebody. We gotta vote somebody off, and like all three answers, nobody.
That's ordinary.
No
Nothing
sus
gave it
moments.
away.
Now we got to go back and think, what did these guys say in the past rounds that we can actually like use against them now? Like, I'm still going back to the guy who said, so Billy said Ole Diallo. And then he also was able to say Wan-Bissaka. He was able to get all the other answers.
So you're saying because he hasn't flawed in prior rounds?
That's all I'm saying. Because this round didn't give us much information, so we have to start using past information to help our decision.
I agree with you.
You guys think Billy?
Billy's a Man United fan.
All right, so you guys think Billy?
Yeah.
That's number 2. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Definitely Billy's giving the most Manchester United fan vibes right now.
All right, Billy. We'll see you at the end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of these two guys.
This is the 5th and final round. Hopefully, we have the Liverpool fan standing right in front of us.
Is one of
And
these two
we have a
guys,
big- we have a big
100%.
topic here, but you need to give an answer here. Is the greatest Premier League player of all time Mo Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry? Who is it?
Very, very
Yeah,
difficult
silence
question.
is loud right now. You can go first.
Cristiano Ronaldo, no doubt.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Typical Manchester United answer right there.
But I'm talking about in the Premier League for his Premier League tenure.
Are we talking? Okay, look, I'm not gonna sway any decision makers here. No? Talking Premier League.
He wants to say
He wants to be
Salah.
honest.
He wants to say Salah.
No, he wouldn't.
I wouldn't say it's like there's an argument. There's small arguments for Salah for maybe longevity, but I'd say other than that, like if you're talking about individual brilliance, best player for winning a Ballon d'Or, and if you watch
He's speechless.
Ronaldo-
This actually left him speechless.
When you watch Ronaldo from that year, it's just like you see this like the way his feet move. I've never seen Salah do that. I've never seen Salah even in his prime, even in his 42 goal season, 42 goal season, or 42 J season, whatever it is. He wasn't moving like that. He wasn't moving on the wing like that. He wasn't banging goals from far away, hitting free kicks like that, winning Ballon d'Ors.
Would a Liverpool fan sell his soul like that and say that?
I don't know, it's crazy.
Oh, that's a good
Salah, he won one Prem.
You realize if you're the Liverpool fan, this is going on the internet, right?
Yeah.
That means he's doubling down on it. Like he's.
Take my word. It's a bluff right there.
And he has nothing to say.
Yeah, it's the guy on the right.
Do a ranking of these three.
The guy on the right is a
Who do you want
Liverpool
2 and 3
fan.
in the Premier League.
If I'm gonna be honest, I do not like Arsenal. I hate Arsenal.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry is a lovable guy, but at the same time, I don't like the Invincibles argument. It's the same way Juventus gets 16 draws in one season. And with no losses.
That's not
Juventus
United
gets 16
fan.
draws, no losses. And
Come here. That's crazy. I just found my biggest fan.
like I get it. Like okay, you didn't lose, but at the same time.
It's going off track, bro. It's a ranking.
So I'd say okay, Thierry 3, Salah 2, Ronaldo 1.
Okay. You got the same rating? No.
Ooh. Mo 3.
Mo.
He's trying to.
This guy didn't say 1 or 2. This guy just said Mo at the bottom.
He said Ronaldo first.
Ronaldo's first. Let's go.
And second, Terry.
A man speaks more with less weight. We're seeing 2 ends of the spectrum. Mo. We're seeing the whole thesis statement on one side, and then we're seeing Mo at the bottom. Now this is a final, gentlemen.
This is cinema.
This is cinema. Could not have directed it better.
I have no idea. But there's like, my gut says go with the one that there's no justification. Like,
Why?
Because obviously, if I was faking being a United fan, I would say something like Mo.
But what a Liverpool fan, like actually on, but look, the Real Madrid Barcelona video, the guy sold his soul. He said Ronaldo's better than Messi. And then after he said it, when he had to reveal, he took off his shirt and said, Messi, I'm sorry, Messi, I'm sorry. Now, how many people are ready to say that on camera?
In front of hundreds of thousands of people.
It takes a special individual to do that.
I mean, but Devin doubled down.
And he mentioned Ten Hag, De Ligt. These are names that.
Bro, those are not United answers. I'm sorry. I'm gonna vote Ten Hag, De Ligt. There's no way someone with 2 eyeballs actually said that, so I'm gonna say
bring up Dennis Law.
Devin. He brought up Dennis Law.
He did 3 out of 4 actually. The Ballon d'Or winners.
He did bring up a lot of Ballon d'Or.
Now that's a
Maybe
game.
he just knows Ballon d'Or.
I'm a bandwagon. He's a stats merchant. Like
Ooh, you're calling him a football merchant.
he's a stats merchant.
After further review, Nick T's answers, Jose Mourinho, Ugarte. That's not quite convincing either.
You said Jose Mourinho was a good answer. And Ugarte is an underrated player. I catch you on the podcast saying Ugarte is
literally said that too.
Oh my God, he's bringing up historical figures.
said everything, so don't use
Barbara said a lot of things, though. That's the thing.
De Ligt underrated. I
I
don't
think
know
we're both
about that one.
Liverpool fans.
I'm locking in Devin. I'm locking it in.
To vote as a Manchester United fan.
Yeah. No, as a Liverpool fan.
As a
Sorry.
Liverpool fan. So you're voting off Nick?
Yeah.
I'm voting off Nick too.
Like I'm just gonna trust him on this one. Like.
So 3-1.
So you're saying
I
that
like-
Nick is
I
the
think-
Manchester United fan?
I think it's the guy on the right,
I'll agree with you
man.
guys.
That's crazy.
I'll say Nick.
Devin definitely.
I
did a
think
very, very
Nick
good
is
job,
the
though.
guy, you know.
I was actually kind of convinced.
Yeah, honestly, all 6 contestants this game
Very even.
came off as Man United.
It's Mitch
Yeah.
and throwing.
Bro, can't be Mitch. Cannot be Mitch.
If it's contestant 1, that's a Liverpool fan. We don't have a problem.
All right, so Nick, we think you're the Manchester United fan, and I guess we're gonna bring everyone in and get the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see who it is, bro. Let's see who it is, fam.
Welcome back, boy.
Mitch.
The boys are back.
They're struck.
Welcome back.
All
Let's
right.
see who it
so Now
is.
looking at our lineup.
We said it was contestant number 3. We said it was Devin. So boys, slowly and surely.
So we voted off Mitch first. Mitch, who are you a fan of?
I see some reds.
Oh, that's definitely.
Of course.
2008 too. Classical fan.
Wow.
OG.
Is that the fine? Where did you even get that?
That's why you're the biggest fan.
That's a crazy beat. That's a
Is it Rooney or no?
Right now.
Ronaldo on that
Of course
one.
it's Ronaldo.
Very, very nice.
In round 2.
Nick N.
Nick N. I also see red.
Let's see.
but the issue, okay.
With the
Yeah.
Snapdragon?
Are you wearing the shorts underneath too? No, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this guy's ready to go.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay.
It's all fashion, bro. Read a book.
But we're on the ball, guys. We're good. We're good so far.
we're okay.
Dave, round 3. This is where it started getting a little bit more sketchy.
The issue is red. We can't even
White.
Liverpool white. Okay.
Team viewer. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the main
easy.
jersey right there.
Nice
Everyone knows
kick.
that's Mainu's jersey.
Any name on the back? Or
Yeah, yeah,
we're
good
sure
one.
anyone can change every
I
season.
like the new logo.
Yeah.
No name. We fight for the badge on the front, not the name on the back.
Liverpool logo, mind me. Round 4. Rashford, Ballon d'Or, Billy.
This one was tough.
What
I'm
do
not
you
gonna
lie
lie.
Red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bobber, you have that kid.
Yeah.
Marvar. That is a
Yeah.
Manchester United
See
kid.
our 7 on the back or no?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing on the back.
Nothing in the back.
back.
Team viewer
Okay,
kid.
so now it is a 50-50. One of Nick or Devin is the Liverpool fan.
I'm stressing.
We think it is Devin.
We're stressed.
All right.
It's very
Shaking.
stressful.
Guys, at the same time, Devin, Nick, take off your shirts. Pause.
Well, Devin's ready to go. We got one right.
I told you, I knew it, bro. See it, fam. I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro. I knew this guy was a Liverpool fan, bro. I knew that guy was a Liverpool fan, fam. I knew it, dude. Like, the answers were just not, were not cooking with me, bro. You get what I mean, bro?
You guys every week banter club. And you said what you said about Ronaldo. Salah's so much better. Messi's better than Ronaldo.
Sold your soul. Sold your soul.
You better apologize to Ronaldo for the views.
I knew it, bro.
He was
He got desperate at the end as well, fam, saying that all those guys were better than Salah, bro. I knew it, bro. You could tell. Come on, man.
I shook an Arsenal fan's hand. I pretend to be a Man United fan.
My goodness. Wow. And Devin's just here for the ride.
I don't know if I should be ashamed of myself or you guys at this
You know
point.
what?
That's
I'm
crazy.
Proud that I wrote the rant. I'm proud that I didn't know your questions.
God damn.
I would hate to be an actual enjoyer of this club.
So,
Oh my goodness, bro, that's flaming you.
so the Mo was actually fact.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my goodness.
And so that concludes it, box to box.
See?
We lost this one, guys.
These guys, man. These guys, bro. These guys, man. I knew straight away. I knew like I knew like the guy was not a United fan. Just due to the answers, guys. It was just like no that. Like Aeon and like AIG and like the answers that he was picking too, bro. It was just so obvious, like Varane in 2021 when he shot the secret player that shut down freaking Kylian Mbappe, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I knew that straight away, man. But guys, I think I'm gonna have to end it there, bro. I'm gonna have to end it there. Thank you so much for the people that have tuned in for this. It actually means the world to me. If you're watching this on the VOD, thank you once again. If you got any stream ideas that you want me to react to or any news you want me to react to, please send it my way. Once again, this is like small baby steps right now, getting used to the whole setup. So apologies for that. Apologies for the sound issues. That's why I always do a sound issue just before every single stream, just so I could hear myself, guys.